Greetings, Kitchen Sink family members. How are you? How are we? I'm good. I'm good. As we are beginning to approach a slight shift in our look at finances as Kitchen Sink family members, I just thought today we would look at, one habit of money which is not so pleasant. We're going to be looking at poverty. And to the best of my ability, as I always do, I'm going to be sharing what I've observed around the subject matter, and trusting God to also then bring in some lessons around the same matter. So of importance, I realized are three aspects. Aspect number one is about poverty mentality, and aspect number two is about the culture of poverty, and then aspect number three is how we can overcome poverty. So please watch to the end, because that's where we give the handles on how we can overcome poverty according to how I have observed it happening around my life. So what is poverty mentality? Dearly beloved, poverty mentality is a mindset, of how you think, your way of thinking and behavior that perpetuates the cycle of financial struggle. And it is characterized by beliefs of scarcity, low self-worth, and a belief that financial success is unattainable. It can actually be a belief system. You are settled in this place where you believe that this thing is not attainable, and as you live that life every day, it's impossible. Everything around you, everything going through your mind it's impossible. And we are saying this video, in this video we are saying, let's look at those state of affairs. What are we talking about? So what is beliefs of scarcity? It is when your way of looking as an individual, and if you have this mindset, you believe, like I've just said, you believe that resources are limited, and there's not enough to go around, leading to a fear of not having enough. So while it is a mindset, in the essence of that mindset is also another condition, which is fear. Fear that so there's not enough, and it's not enough, and you embrace that not enough state of affairs. And then with it comes low self-worth. You look at yourself, there's nothing good that can come out of yourself or your family, or your tribe or your clan, And this mindset can be associated with a lack of confidence in one's ability to succeed, and a feeling that one is not worthy of financial abundance. Guys, we are worthy of financial abundance. We are worthy. Those of you who believe in Christ know that he says, I come that you might have life, and life more abundantly. So you and I, we are worthy of abundance. We are worthy of walking that journey in abundance, So don't limit yourself because, you have this scarcity mentality that, it's not enough. It won't be enough. In our part of the world, it's almost like a belief system that, unless you are a politician, unless you are related to a politician, otherwise, no, it's not true. It is not true of everybody who is successful. They are working hard, they are slogging their lives away, they are almost always at the grind, and that's where their success is coming from. Hey? Very important. And again, with that fear, now comes the fear of risk. First and foremost is you're afraid of the scarcity. And because you're afraid of scarcity, that fear does not just stop there. It will then affect your capacity to stand out, to be bold, to take bold steps to break that in your life. So you're afraid to take risks, and you're hesitant all the time, And even if an opportunity presents itself, you question your capacities, you question, whether, the heaven will look on you and shine on you for you to succeed. You just have to take a step of faith and take risk. That's how others have done it in life to be successful. And also one crippling position about, this poverty mentality is how you have so much energy to focus on short-term gains. Everything you want to know today, how much have we made? We've made $20. That $20, you're already thinking, we need to do this, that, and the other, almost immediately. And you position yourself for even more failure when you live life like that. We have no mentality to serve, to create reserves for ourselves. What we get, we kill, we eat. That's our mindset. You get it, kill it, you eat it. Get it, kill it, you eat it. No. If we are to come out of poverty, we have to employ other means with our money beyond just getting it, killing it, and eating it. Very, very important. We'll discuss that in a minute. And then you might also believe, like I've just said, you believe that, I can't even control this. It's not even in me to control it, because everything is being controlled by government. Everything is being controlled by the politicians. Everything is being controlled by my big brother who is bewitching us so that we are poor. And you can always point at things outside of yourself as to why you are where you are with poverty. External, or mindset, external locus of control is what I'm talking about. So in the end, you surrender the control of your own finances to fate. Whatever they do, even if we save money, we will lose it all. Even if, no, guys, there are ways of protect. Remember, we discussed that money hides. You can hide your money in assets and you save it, as opposed to moving around with lumps of money. Hide it in an asset. Only get, your monthly trenches from it, but the bulk of your money is hidden in an asset. Whereas someone is moving around with hundreds of thousands of dollars showing off, your hundreds of thousands of dollars, you've hidden it in an asset. And it's safe. Unless fate has it that maybe your house is burnt down, struck by lightning, whatever adversity. But by and large, you can hide it in assets, and you only partake of that which comes from it on a from time to time basis. Very important. And then sometimes our poverty mentality, that mindset, can be self-perpetuating as negative beliefs and behaviors lead to financial struggles, which in turn enforces a negative mindset. So there's a cycle of self-sabotage. You, as a parent, believe that you can never succeed, with your finances. You raise your children in that space and you insist that, this is not for us. You actually pointed, it's for those ones and those ones. This is not for us. That child is growing up already trapped in that mindset, and they will perpetuate it, and it can become a generational trap. So it's very important for us to know that what I'm talking about, what we are talking about, kitchen sink family members, it's something that you can actually pass on generationally. Hey, please say something in the comment section. We have to break these cycles, the cycle of self-sabotage. We need to break it. I'm not saying tell your child that we're very rich when you are not, but encourage them that all things are possible with God. All things are possible. You can be rich, you can be wealthy. We can succeed at what we are doing because you believe all things are possible. I as a family, we do, a family mantra every morning, and that's part of what we declare. Since when our children were young, now they're adults. Part of that would be, I can do all things. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And with God, all things are possible. All things, whatever it is that you want to do. I have failed at this and that, but doesn't necessarily mean you have to fail at that as well as my child. You can do it. You can even produce better results than I have produced in life. So break the cycle of self-sabotage. You can do it as a family. Okay, And now when we are discussing the culture of poverty, it has progressed from starting off as a mindset, possibly in one person. That one person could be an opinion leader, a husband, a father, a chief, a headsman. They believe that in this area, nothing good comes out of it. And now it becomes a culture, of poverty. And the culture of poverty theory, popularized by, Oscar Lewis, suggests that certain values and behaviors passed down, through generations within impoverished communities can be perpetuate rather a cycle of poverty. Beliefs that are passed on generationally, they can perpetuate poverty. We have believed so much as black people in Africa particularly. I know those in the diaspora have their own complexities and their own issues, but down here in Africa, we believe so much that because of colonialism, we are limited, to the spread of our wings. We are limited. And for generations, we believed it. We believed it. Unless something is localized, we can't look beyond. Who has ever been there anyway, But now we know our world today is globalized, and where our forefathers failed to reach, we reach through globalization. And so nothing is impossible for us now. And that's what I'm saying this morning. Let's believe that everything is possible with God. Everything is possible. Very important. And then the key characteristics, according to this Lewis, about the culture of poverty. He says that feelings of helplessness and powerlessness and a sense of being unable to control one's circumstances. These are some of the key characteristics. You feel you can't do it. You feel helpless and hopeless around poverty and finances. It becomes a matter of tears and crying, and there's no break. What I'm saying to us Kitchen Sink family members, you can break the cycle of self-sabotage. You can break the cycle of believing that it is impossible. It's very important. And then also dependency, on external support, reliance on government and assistance or charity. You can't even give something because you're actually expecting people to give you. Let me tell you, I belong to a family that, according to me, unless you are measuring life in the rural area, if you are measuring life in urban centers, we would have been considered poor. But I have a sister, the firstborn in our family. She has never been one to have loads of money until her children were older. But when she didn't have money in her pocket, she had energy. Where others would give money, she would give of her energy. I always remember that growing up. She had a rich man's mentality that I can do this. You will buy the food items, she will cook them. She will serve the food. Whatever it is that you would think you have money, have bought with your money, she will work through that whatever it is, and she will provide a service for it. Because she desired to break this cycle of I don't have, we will never have, it's impossible. Very important. The other characteristic is social marginalization, isolation and lack of integration into mainstream society. Dearly beloved, in Zimbabwe, we are at a huge advantage to conquer this one. We remember in the last video, we discussed that our unemployment is at 80%. So we all belong to the informal sector. So there's no mainstream to block me. There's no mainstream that can stand in my way. In fact, the mainstream is bending towards us in the informal sector. So you can't feel socially marginalized. Not at this moment in time in our nation. Not at this moment in time on our continent. We are the ones that are driving the economy. So there's nothing to be embarrassed about. There's nothing to be apologetic about. Let's go and let's take advantage of where we are and establish ourselves with whatever, however, we are doing. And sometimes some of the key characteristics is a lack of future orientation, a preference for immediate gratification, and a high rate of family instability. These are some of the things, dearly beloved. Honestly, if you're not a part of my society where I am right now, it may sound foreign to you. But in my society, a sense of a lack of the future is so prevalent. People are not planning, people don't budget, because for what? It's like, I'm just going to live life today and tomorrow, will take care of itself. Let me tell you, other communities are raised up to believe that there will be a future. One of the persons that I hear many people who talk about money make references to is a guy I hear is called Warren Buffett. I do not know him personally, but I've heard of many of his stories. And one of those things is how he invests on the stock exchange in his country. That he looks at those investments that upon which he has to wait at least 25 years for him to begin to harvest from that investment. Can you imagine a Zimbabwean putting away money for 25 years and be patient enough to wait so that he can begin to harvest from it? How does it happen in our area? We depend on agricultural cycles. We plant, around October, November traditionally, when the rains start now because the weather patterns have changed. Give it 4, at most 5 months, I'm expecting my return. And I'm angry about it, I'm aggressive about it to get my return immediately. But what this is telling us about other societies, they know that even if this year's agricultural season has passed, they are not expecting all the profits to be available today. They are willing to reinvest and reinvest and reinvest. Of course, we are starting from different places. I know. They are not starting from zero. There might be a big brother who's supporting them so that they are allowed the period of investment. But I believe we can do little by little. I sincerely believe you can begin to save. In any case, in our natural habitat, at a homestead, there was always a reservoir house where all our proceeds would be harvested and preserved in. And I'm saying to us today, I'll put a picture here of a semblance of what I'm talking about. So the picture that I put, I couldn't get, an old one in the context of our forefathers, what they used. But even, this that I've put, it, you see it all around, particularly here. We are an agro-based economy. They are dotted all over along our green belt, so that when the harvest is coming in, it is stored away, so that we're able to feed from it, not just for one season, sometimes for 2, sometimes for 3 seasons, because we are also predisposed to drought in our area. And unless we have these reservoirs, we will be begging all the time. And as a family, you can do the same. You can find a way of saving, a way of preserving that which you have, so that you can ensure that there is supply in times of need. So how do we overcome poverty? You need to cultivate a mindset of faith and trust. Something which doesn't come to us naturally. My rooster is agreeing with me. You have to trust in God's provision. The Bible emphasizes that, God is a provider. And so to trust in Him is to trust in Him influencing how we go about things. Remember the story of Joseph in Egypt. How during the years of plenty, he collected, from people every year. And he built storehouses where they made sure that they preserved food in there, sufficient to feed them for 7 years of drought. We can do it. You just need to find out in your heart what is the best way of doing this. We can discuss this in our villages. We can discuss this in our communities. Guys, how best can I preserve the little that I have? And when you establish that for yourself, then you will find that your lack, your moments of lack are reduced or even obliterated. That's the desire. And we do so. We seek communal wisdom. You know, don't do it alone. Peradventure, you do it the wrong way, and you will suffer where you need not suffer. Very important. So seek wisdom, God's wisdom. Seek communal wisdom. You know, when you are seeking communal wisdom, you are not outlaying all that you have to the community. You are going there smart, just seeking to understand how things are being done. Practice gratitude. Say thank you. And live by that in your life. Embrace hard work and responsibility. You know, and don't always have this attitude of, you know, grumbling, complaining, you know, negative vibe. No. Embrace gratitude. It gives off, you know, a good vibe. It gives off good energy to yourself and to those around you. I don't know what I've just done. And work, you know, when you embrace hard work and responsibility, you work diligently. Make sure that every day you say you do something towards your grind. Don't work less and expect much. It doesn't work. There's no correlationship. You work hard, you're guaranteed profit, scripture tells us. That is very, very important. And then you also have to develop skills and knowledge. If your avenue to ensure that, you know, life is sustainable for you economically and financially is through farming, then you have to work at that piece of land. You have to learn, have the necessary skills so that you work at whatever grind you are engaged in so that you be successful. You need to develop skills and knowledge. So you have to invest in education. You know, you have to invest in acquiring skills. It's very important. And when I say invest, sometimes it's monetary investment, but other times it's just time investment, availability at the places where these things are taught for free. But you have to show up and you have to be diligent to work. If they give out work to do, you are the person who must do it. Very important. And be responsible with finances. We've talked about this many times and I'll repeat it again. Develop a budget. Save money. Avoid excessive debt so that in life you live beneath your means. Save. Budget. Exercise restraint. Impulsive buying, impulsive expenses, exercise restraint. It's very important. And again, the other key aspect, how to break poverty, is when you are able to practice generosity and help others. This is very important, guys. Help those around you in need. In our nation, we have a son of the soil, Strive Masiwa, who through one of their organization, Capernaum Trust or higher something, they are sponsoring, you know, they're giving out scholarships to locals from, I think it's from primary school right up to university. You know, you may not have that capacity, but you can send one child to school. You can send 2 children to school. You can help your relative who's severely disadvantaged in life. You can do it. You can also give to churches, to social welfare organizations. You can give freely the little that you have. I know people with testimonies of the best that they can do is every week of their life, they buy, you know, some loaves of bread. I can't remember how much. They buy them and they drive out to a near place where there's an orphanage in the peri-urban areas of Harare. They've committed to that organization that they provide them with bread every day. They can't go there every day, but they can plan around their lives to go there every week to drop bread for the next week. If that's what you can do, then go ahead and do it. If you have relatives that are disadvantaged, you can help them by taking their children to school, being the responsible one. And you can, above all that, you can tithe to your church. Can give offerings, free will, cheerfully, not grudgingly. We have to be happy about it when we are doing it. And then you can serve others as well. I've told you the story of my big sister. She always volunteers her services. I mean, now she's older, not so much now. But when we were younger, she always would do that. It was always a pleasure for us to see her serve in places where some of us would be, giving out money. So you can do it as much as other people have done it in the past. And when you walk, and live life by God's word, you know that God will bless that. Very, very important. And then also you can choose to be someone who's prayerful. You pray regularly. When God has made a difference in your life, be someone who's present for Thanksgiving all the time. I always tell people, don't always have a prayer request, a list of things that you're asking for this, you're asking for this. Actually, last night at our Connect cell group, we just said, today we're not taking any prayer requests. Today we're just thanking God that we are here, that everybody's healthy who was present, and we went ahead and we shared our teas and stuff, satisfied that God is taking care of us, and we are thankful. Create times for that in your life, and then you will find that life will be more pleasant and more pleasurable. Guys, I know this video was long, but it was important for us to highlight you can be trapped in a poverty mindset as an individual, or as an individual family. You are actually trapped, and depending on how influential you are, you can begin to influence other families, other people around you, to begin to believe with you that it is impossible to break this cycle, this self-sabotage cycle. It's impossible to break it, and then it becomes a culture. Children are raised in it now. The laws of limitation rule the day, and we are saying today we are breaking all that, because there are ways and means to overcome poverty, and overcome we shall. Thank you so much for coming. Please share your own stories. For me, I'll give you in closing a testimony of my family. As a family, we went to school, we are educated, and so we would belong to the middle class as a family. And as a family, financially, we were struggling for many years. And this struggle was because it was from hand to mouth, until I had to be educated. My husband was there already. He knew what we needed to do, but he had a wife who didn't know what they needed to do. So I had to school myself and appreciate budgeting, appreciate living life in that budget, appreciate even living life beneath our budget, beneath our means, appreciate saving. One of the ways that has trained me to save is what every human being in Zimbabwe is and can do. Maround, I've told you before, you can train yourself to save money because you're committed to your group of friends. And when you do that, when it's your turn, you thoroughly enjoy yourselves, because now it's your turn to receive the round. Guys, we can do these things. I have improved the family's life, the quality of life, because then I can have food items in reserve. And I know after so many months, I will receive some more, because I'm participating in this scheme around me. I know many people say, banks can do it for us. For me, the way I'm wired, I pledge allegiance to my friends group, that I will not let them down. And that has really trained me to stay within our lane in as far as fulfilling our commitment. You could be someone like me. Go ahead. If that's how you will ensure that you do it, please join a round group, a good one, where members are diligent and they are faithful and they are committed, and you will see life turn around for you. Others have done it differently, but all I'm trying to say is it can be done. We can break the cycle of poverty of our lives. Thank you so much, Kitchen Sink family members. Talk to you later.